members of the public have not been allowed in the Capitol for the last 9 or 10 months because of the pandemic. This has been completely shut down. Not to mention that this breach means that every single one of these protesters has not been screened. I mean, this is an unprecedented security breach in the Capitol, at least in my experience, where you have so many people here who have not been screened by Capitol Police. Every single time you go into the Capitol, you go through a magnetometer, your bags are checked, and police do a sweep of what you bring into the Capitol. Every single one of these protesters is here and hasn't been screened by Capitol Police. So I have to say, I mean, aides and lawmakers are messaging us, trying to figure out what's happening. But as you can see, both the Senate and the House are on lockdown until this is resolved.
Yeah, it is incredibly disturbing. We're watching right now as a number of apparent protesters now seem to be peacefully or voluntarily or somehow being led out of the Capitol right now. They seem to be heading toward. Well, maybe not. Is that the exit? If you look at the picture,
that camera, the shot that we have that you see right now is of them walking towards the House chamber. That's not the exit. That is
toward the House.
They're walking towards the House chamber right now, and that camera. So those they're not going anywhere. They're going directly to where the debate is going in the House chamber.
Yeah, Casey Hunt, give us your sense of what we're seeing here and what's happening inside.
So, Lester, our NBC News producer, Haley Talbot, is actually inside the House chamber right now. She's serving as a producer for many of us because, of course, we have been taking these coronavirus precautions. She has been letting us know from inside the chamber what's going on. They have been yelling to members of the House to stay seated, warning them that they may need to get underneath their seats. They have been saying that people may need to relocate to the cloakroom. Now, the cloakrooms are rooms for individual. Each party has one. It's a private gathering place for members of Congress. They're both off the House floor. But as you were just talking about with Frank, you see those protesters packed in there. The cloakrooms are actually in between the House floor and where those protesters are. So the benefit perhaps of the cloakroom would be that it is a closed off area. Remember, the House chamber is a big wide open space. There are public galleries around the edges on the third floor of the Capitol. The chamber itself is on the second floor. That's the button that you push in the elevator if you want to go to the chamber is 2. Up on 3, there are these galleries that the public and the press typically can go and sit. You may see that during State of the Union speeches, for example, or something along those lines. There are also members apparently yelling. There's a lot of chaos, Haley reports, from the chamber on the House floor. And this, again, I think we need to just step back and take a second here, Lester, to underscore how rare, unusual, and troubling what is going on here is. This is not something that has happened very frequently. It's not unprecedented that there has been a breach of the House chamber, but it was many, many years ago. I'm going to have to go and do my research into, there was a shooting that occurred many years ago. Puerto Rican activists shot down at the floor. If you pull out the drawer in one of the desks that sits on the House floor, I've actually seen it. The bullet hole is still there from that incident. But of course, the idea then was that they learned a lot from that incident and that things like that were never supposed to happen again. So the rarity of someone actually getting into the House chamber and doing something like this really cannot be overstated. And again, these protesters right now, from what we can see on our cameras, are outside the House chamber, outside the doors. Now, the question is whether they'll get into those doors. And again, I'm looking at these texts from Haley Talbot, our producer, who is on the scene there and who is in the room watching all of this unfold. Lester.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.